Hey, it's 2 a.m. with Jason. I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to talk a little bit tonight or this morning about the second part of the sermon of trusting Jesus. The one passage that really comes to mind is in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 8 through 10. It says, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in your weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That's why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I think there's two common misconceptions when it comes to this idea of weakness. The first one is it's not a matter of us becoming stronger to overcome the weaknesses. It's not like strength training. Parks is always doing these little pull-up things on the swing set, trying to I'm gonna get stronger because I can be stronger like you, Dad. And I said, oh, that's good, that's nice. but the reality is that's not what we're talking about here. Paul wasn't trying to become stronger to overcome the weakness. He was saying that it's because of the weakness that God is exemplified and gets the honor through what's going on. The second misconception I think we run into a lot of times is that that this idea of can we rise above the weakness, kind of in the sense of like the Buddhist thought of, like let's just deny self and do these things, and in that way emotionally and mentally we rise above the weaknesses that we have. And that's not what it's about either. The reality is that God knows that we have strengths. He knows that we have abilities. He gave us those gifts. At the same time, God also knows our weaknesses. And Paul is realizing here that, guess what? Although God can use the strengths and abilities that I have, he also uses the weaknesses that I have to give him praise and glory as well. Now, that's a choice that we can kind of make with it, because we can not allow those weaknesses to be exposed or to be used. Too often we say we don't want to be vulnerable, and so we say, I'm not gonna let people see that I have this weakness, and so I'm only gonna play to my strengths, and that's a dangerous thing, because then God doesn't get the glory. It's not obvious that, oh, I know them and they can do really good things, and so it must be what it is that they're just good. God uses our strengths, but in the weakness is where God is able to really shine, because people know, whether they're believers or not, there's no way they could have done that. And we need to make sure that we're letting people know that as well. Parks asked me, we were watching, I don't know what sporting event it was last year, and people were, maybe it was a home run, and they pointed up to the sky where they scored a touchdown. I'm not sure which one it was, but he said, why do they do that? What are they pointing at? And I said, well, it's a good question. That's a good question. Are they pointing at God? Are they pointing at a loved one maybe, or what? Are they saying they're number one? And but the reality is, God can use our weaknesses so that he can shine through it. And that's the kind of challenge that I have today, is to think about what are the things that you're strong at, and say, okay, how can I still make sure that people see God through my strengths, that know that I may have this gift, but really God gave me this gift, and every perfect gift comes from him, and so God is doing this. And then at the same time, what are the weaknesses we have, and say, okay, how can I still allow people to see those weaknesses, so that when God uses us in spite of those weaknesses, people say, wow, that God is amazing. And again, it's not about us as believers. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about God, and who gets the glory, and it should be him. So it's my challenge tonight. Till next time.